Howdy folks, welcome to the Bowling Fools page. So I've decided to do something a little bit different today. So as you can see right in front of you, we have the dark side. I've given this ball a chance. I've got about 10 games on it. I've put different types of surfaces on it, and it just does not jive with my bowling style. So if you know anything about this, it's supposed to be one of Deviate's better balls that just came out. It's the most recent ball that just came out. And I put it out for sale, and the broski says, you know what, I'll take that. I can use a weak ball. So I decided to give it to him. So what we're going to do today is we're going to get it ready for him to plug it up. So I don't do any of the plug work. That's what he does. But what I will do is I'll take the inserts out and I'll drill bigger holes for him to get ready for. I'm going to prep it for him so he can plug it. And I'm also going to take the Jopo out. So this episode will be about if you have a used ball and you want to get it ready for getting it prepped for being plugged. This is step one. So this is a KR Strike Force plug remover. And this was, I believe it was around $35, somewhere around there. And all you do is just put it in here and you turn it. All right, and push down while you're doing it. And what it does is it kind of breaks off that glue bond that you had when you glued the inserts in, and just go down until you got all that glue loose. So it pays to not put a whole bunch of glue on when you're putting inserts in, just in case you want to do this later down the road. So there we go. There's our insert, and we can still salvage these inserts. They're still pretty good. So just a little bit of damage right there, nothing too crazy. So I'll definitely salvage those, and then we'll do the other one. When I was doing research on these plug removers, I found that KR Strike Force was the best one. There's some other ones that I read reviews on. I can't name the brand right now, just forgot. That actually wasn't, the review says it wasn't sized right. So I decided to go with this one here, and it seems to be doing a pretty good job. And then you'll see it moving around here. And then you just pull it up. See that? And there you go. Like I said, little bit of heart glue on the outside, but all in all, still salvageable. I'll clean those up and we can reuse these. They're brand new grips. I got 10 games on them. And then what we'll do next is we'll drill out the existing Jopo. All right, so we got it all set up to drill out the ring finger hole. So the first thing I did off camera was I zeroed out the drill press and the table and the jig with the ball, so I made sure it was zeroed out on the XY axis. That's all done. Well, I got the table locked down, and I've got my pitches set in for the ring finger, which was 5/16 reverse pitch and 3/8 right pitch. So we got it all locked down. I've lowered the speed on the RPM of the drill press to 260. So you want the drill press speed just to be a little bit lower to prevent any kind of chatter. You will get a little bit of chatter just because you're drilling out a hole that's a little bit smaller than your bit. So you're drilling into an existing hole. So it's okay to get a little bit of chatter. You just don't want a whole bunch of chatter. And all I'm going to do is just go halfway down, right? I'm not going all the way down. I'm just going, what I'm trying to do is you see this top right here, it's beveled, right? I got the bevel sander when I put these inserts in, and we want to get rid of that beveled end and just get a sharp top there, so that when he does put the plug material in there, it's a good solid fit, and then he can grind it down and sand it down to be flush with the curvature of the ball. And I'm just going slow. And this is a 1 7/64 drill bit. You want it just a little bit bigger than the 31/32. That's about good. So you can see we've got a nice clean, can I show you that right here? We've got nice clean cut lines right here. Perfect cut lines. All you're looking for, and you're just going down halfway. I got a bunch of debris in there, so I'm clean that out and I'll show you. So there we go. All right, you can see that I didn't go all the way down. There's no need to go all the way down. And we made nice clean lines around there. So I'm gonna do the other finger next. All right, now we're on to the middle finger. I've put my pitches into the XY table. And what we're trying to do is when we bring this down, both sides of that bit are touching just the outside of that hole. And just kind of bring it around and just make sure. So I go a little bit more. It's not much. And this is where the centralizer really comes into play for doing the thumb. So we've got that all lined up. You can kind of see. It's just on the outside there. If you can see that. And then we drill it. And make sure that you have your pitches in here for each finger, because if you don't have your pitches right, you'll go through the middle of the bridge right here and you'll kind of combine. Not that it makes a big difference when you're plugging the holes. If you're going to plug it, it's gonna fill that hole up anyway. But it's good practice to keep that, to always do that. There we go. All right, so I did make a little hole in there, so that's okay. Not a huge deal, so when he does fill it with the plug material, it's gonna fill all that in anyway. So not a huge deal. The reason that happens because I made the bridge just a little bit shorter than 0.25. I think it was like 0.25 on the dot. So when you're drilling a little bit bigger hole, it's most likely gonna happen. But you can see that hole just halfway down. And it's ready for being plugged. And then we're gonna do the thumb next. And now we're gonna drill out the existing Jopo. And I have this Jopo centralizer tool. We put that in the drill bit, or the chuck, sorry, and line it up. So we already have our pitches on the table. You're gonna need to put the pitches in the table here. And just bring that down. And this, I don't know if you saw that, but it kind of moved the ball a little bit. And the whole purpose of this is to try to get it lined up perfectly. So that when you put the 1.5 inch drill bit in there, it's going to go down perfectly. Okay, so let's get that locked in. Let's see how that fits there. Yeah, perfect. Okay. And once again, the whole purpose of this is once you put that 1.5 inch drill bit in there, this one, when you drill down, the purpose is to get this whole Jopo out in one swipe, right? So you don't have to go back and forth and get the remaining. So we'll see how that works. We'll test it out. Once again, I got the RPM set to 260. Got this locked down. And all you're doing is essentially just drilling out that plastic JoPo. There we go, I should have done it. All right, let's see what we got here. So it didn't get it completely all out of there. I still have a little bit on there. So I might have been off just a little bit on the pitches. Thought I had the pitches in there pretty good, but it doesn't get it all out. But what you can do is just get a screwdriver and, or with my hands, and get the rest of this out. You can see that. All right, you can see there's a little bit remaining. We just get some needle nose pliers and just peel this off. Should be pretty easy. And a little bit of the bottom, and I get all out. So there's the bottom piece of the JoPo. And just try to get as much of that plastic out of there as you can. A little bit of plastic on the side here. I think what I'll do is I'll put it back on the drill press and just make it a little bit bigger hole right here and get this plastic out of there that you see. All right, so there we go. I just threw it back on the drill press and just put it more on this side towards the front. And it got the rest of that plastic out of there, if you can see that. And that's it. So it's ready to go. The edges are nice and sharp, getting ready for the plug material to be poured in there. And that's all we have to do. So this is pretty much step one. If you're going to drill out a ball, you want to plug a ball up that you don't want. Maybe you want to sell it. Maybe you want to plug it up and put a different layout on there. This is something you can do too as well. So easy peasy. And then, like I said, the broski will put the plug material in there, let it harden up overnight. And then we come in there with a plug cutter, cut it down and sand it up. And then he's ready to drill his layout in there. So hope you guys enjoy watching this, something a little different. And hate to say goodbye to such a new ball, but it's going to a good home. And hopefully Broski can bowl some good games with it. A hell of a lot better than I can, hopefully. If you like what you see, give me a like, comment down below, and make sure to hit the subscribe button. Helps me out. And I'll put more content out like this for you guys. And until then, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody.